global platform now that Caitlin will have coming into the professional ranks. So it's really a great time to be in basketball.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
Why would the WNBA offer a rookie part ownership in a team? That's not just rare, it's unheard of. But that's exactly what's reportedly on the table for Caitlin Clark. Why? Because the league is doing everything it can to keep her from leaving the US for Europe's deeper pockets. More than just a star player, Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's become the centerpiece of an entire movement in women's basketball. Her arrival in the WNBA was more than just a highly anticipated debut, it was a turning point. After being selected #1 overall by the Indiana Fever, Clark immediately brought with her a level of excitement, visibility, and fan engagement that the WNBA had never experienced before. Her college career at Iowa was record-breaking. She shattered attendance records, drew millions of viewers to nationally televised games, and transformed arenas into packed, high-energy venues. Even before she signed a professional contract, fans were paying hundreds, sometimes thousands, just to see her play. The draft that could save the league. So when she declared for the WNBA draft, there was no doubt. This wasn't just a big moment for the Indiana Fever. It was a make-or-break moment for the entire league. But here's the problem. While Caitlin Clark's star power is undeniable, the WNBA has long struggled with one major issue: player compensation. That's where Europe enters the story. European basketball teams, especially in countries like Russia, Turkey, and Spain, have a long history of offering significantly larger contracts to American WNBA players. Diana Taurasi, for example, famously skipped a WNBA season when her Russian club paid her more money to stay overseas. Breanna Stewart also took advantage of Europe's financial stability. This isn't new. Many top-tier WNBA athletes have used European leagues as a way to make a living wage because, let's be honest, the WNBA hasn't always made that possible. Could Clark really leave the WNBA? So it's no surprise that reports began swirling that Clark, despite the excitement around her rookie season, might take her talents to Europe in search of better pay. We're talking about offers that could reach $500,000 to $1 million per year, far more than the WNBA's rookie-scale contracts, and the league knew it couldn't afford to lose her. The WNBA has been trying to scale for years. Viewership has traditionally lagged, merchandise sales were modest, and attendance was uneven. Expansion was on the table, but only with the right ownership groups and the right momentum. Then Clark came along. Suddenly, ticket sales jumped by 93%. Daytime viewership was up 400%. Regular game viewership rose by 180%. The Indiana Fever alone are on track to surpass 200,000 total attendees this season, more than any franchise in league history. Caitlin Clark didn't just elevate her team, she elevated the entire WNBA. She turned casual viewers into fans. She turned empty seats into sellouts. She made women's basketball must-watch TV. The Indiana Fever's franchise valuation soared to over $90 million this year alone. That's nearly 40% growth, most of it thanks to Clark's arrival and the ripple effect it's had on league-wide visibility. For a business that had been losing money for years, this was nothing short of a financial revival. Player ownership. So how do you prevent your most valuable asset from leaving? Ownership. According to recent reports, the WNBA and the Indiana Fever are offering Caitlin Clark a stake in the franchise, making her not just a player, but part owner. That kind of offer is virtually unheard of in professional sports, especially for a rookie. Ownership stakes are typically reserved for athletes who've spent decades in the league or who've built significant off-court business empires, like Michael Jordan with the Charlotte Hornets. But Clark? She's just getting started. Offering her part ownership is more than just a salary bump. It's a strategic move. It ties her long-term financial future directly to the success of the franchise and the league. If the Fever grows in value, Clark benefits. If the WNBA signs new media deals, she profits. She's not just playing the game, she's helping to shape the business. What about the veterans? If Clark left for Europe, the WNBA would lose the one player who, by all measurable data, has done more for league growth than anyone else in the last 20 years. But this move isn't without controversy. Veteran stars like Aja Wilson, who have spent years building their brands, carrying teams, and growing the sport, might feel overlooked. Offering a rookie part ownership before them? That could easily be seen as skipping steps. Wilson has put in the time. She's been a league MVP, a champion, and a leader. To see a newcomer like Clark get such a monumental offer so quickly could spark resentment, not necessarily personal, but definitely professional. Legacy versus marketability. Is the league saying that media presence and fan attention are more valuable than years of performance? It's a fair question, because deals like Clark's set a precedent. If rookies can get ownership stakes, what does that mean for the veterans who've carried the league? What does it say about how the WNBA values legacy versus marketability? Still, from a business standpoint, the numbers don't lie. The WNBA has seen record-breaking metrics across the board in just a few months. This year, it might finally break into profitability. The increased attention has also drawn more advertisers, more corporate sponsors, and more serious long-term investment. And Caitlin Clark is at the center of that, the billionaire path. She's not just another good player, she's a generational talent who's changing the way people view women's sports. So here's the big question. Will she accept the offer? If she does, she could become the first ever active player owner in WNBA history and possibly the first female basketball billionaire down the line. She'd join the ranks of elite athletes like Serena Williams, who've combined dominance in their sport with massive financial success. If she walks away? But if she doesn't? If Clark walks away from the league, it could expose all the cracks still lingering beneath the surface. It would show that even when the WNBA finally gets it right with a transcendent star, it still can't compete financially with international leagues. That would be devastating, not just for the Fever, but for the whole sport in America. Caitlin Clark now holds the future of the WNBA in her hands. Whether she stays or goes, this isn't just about one player's decision. It's about what kind of league the WNBA wants to be and what it's willing to do to get there. So what do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you're following the future of women's basketball as closely as we are, make sure to like and subscribe for more.